Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top player at this game, and today we are doing Tutor Tuesday, where I review a subscriber game and allow them, and you the viewer, get better at the game of Risk. Today's game is coming by Glaceo, an intermediate ranked Risk player, and we're playing a game right here on the classic map, fixed settings, no other special items like blizzards or portals or fog or anything like that. As we look at the game right here, our protagonist, who is the white player, one thing we do notice is that they have phase change animations on right here. You can be going into your settings, and I recommend turning everything off except like the turn notifications, because you don't want to accidentally skip a fortification in case you want to do that. But otherwise, turn off your cannon animations, turn off your phase change notifications. You want to be moving as fast as possible as you're going through your turns, because that's going to give you a sizable edge over your other opponents. Again, when you're new at this game, you just don't know that the standard settings actually end up hurting you rather than helping you. But hey, we end up working the best that we can through all of this. We look at the overall dynamics of this game right here. It looks like the black player will be making a play for South America. The purple player will be making a play for Africa. The red player, we're still waiting a little bit, but I think most of their troops are gravitating towards Europe. And there you go, you turn off camera animations. Glaceo, fight! Let's go, man. Good job for you. Like I said, Glaceo is not a grandmaster, but he has a lot of fun with the game. He's looking to get better and improve, which is why I'm so happy to be reviewing this game today. Those little things that you do to improve your notifications and settings is always really important. The biggest, I think, conflict that we see is going to happen right here is between the blue player and the orange player, because they're both going for the Australia continent right now, but only one can get it. So it's just a very classic thing that happens right here. I also love how the red player just has an 11 sitting up right here like this, just ready to pounce in case blue and orange just destroy each other. At the same time, the red player can just be getting their Europe continent for themselves because no one's contesting it. The purple player makes a small mistake. They should be fortifying their 3 to their 5, either here or here. So that way they can take over the Africa continent the next turn for themselves. And here we go. We see the blue player just making a bunch of haphazard attacks. They break the orange 5. They attack black for no reason, wasting their troops. And look at this. Like, now the orange player and the blue player are just so much weaker. No Australia, no win. The blue player was admittedly in a tough spot. The best thing that they could have done was leave their troops located in the Asia region and hope that other players were to attack each other. It's a low likelihood of winning, but it's better than guaranteeing a loss because of everyone just attacking you. Now you are just slowly moving and taking the North America region. I would have moved this 3 out of the way. You're already in alliance with the red player. When you leave a border, like a region with them, it establishes potential conflict. This is a mistake a lot of newer, lower ranked players make. They think they have to heavily defend their borders at all times, and this will prevent other players from attacking them. But from a human nature perspective, if you have other players attacking you or thinking that they're going to attack you, it creates a natural sense of conflict, anxiety, unease right here. The red player doesn't know, are you going to put in like a 10 set later or just crush them and ruining their entire game plan? What I would do instead is you would fortify the 3 down over to your 9 right here, and then I would give a thumbs up to the red player or like a heart and let them know, hey, and then and also give a notification to attack the purple player. Give them constant reinforcement to say, hey, I want to attack you. I want you to take Europe. Because if the red player is holding Europe, you're holding North America, you're both going to be having the strongest continents on the board, well, besides Asia, but nobody's holding Asia. And you're going to be in fine shape. Now, and also an interesting thing is Black doesn't want an alliance. Like, normally, unless you're a very new bad player, you should always be accepting the alliances. It doesn't hurt to make one. High-level players know that alliances don't matter too much. What matters is what you need to do to win the game. But it's a good way to establish diplomacy with other players. But and this happened in game. You're surprised when the red player attacked Black? That was a great decision. Because now Black is either going to be attacking you, or no, they can really only attack you. The Black player has limited options. It's very common for to isolate the all South American player, specifically to South America. So you either get in conflict with the North American player or the Africa player. So Red, I think, made a very good move right there as a result. Throughout this entire game right here, the Black player had never moved their 5. You would have gladly attacked and moved out and probably established relations with the Black player. But it's clear that they're not really they either are a weak player, which is like the case, and they don't really understand the importance of diplomacy and like relations. I would consider this 4 being like a lost at this time. And I would consider the Black player to be your #1 threat in this game, because I think they're just going to attack you without understanding the implications of what can happen by attacking you. I would assume that only since the red player won't be attacking you because they're guarding you here, and the red player is guarding you here, like the red player is probably be more worried about an attack coming from purple, or maybe like a blue or orange. Like if blue was really smart, they would be getting out of Australia. And with their like extra troops that they're getting with their set right here, they should be attacking red right now, because red's the most dangerous player on this board. But yeah, blue is clearly being a weak player right now, and they're just being like a little silly right here. Is placing extra troops down, antagonizing orange when they can't leave, establishing conflict with them, like. And now they attack orange and leave, but like now look how weak orange is. Such a bad play from the blue player. They weren't trying to eliminate them or attacking anywhere. But now we have to come down to the key decision on your end, which is how can you take North America, and what do you do about these 4 troops here? You're already at a pretty good situation right now at 26 troops for yourself. I would just consider this lost. I would be just attacking Peru, but look what you do. You attack the Black player right here. This was a critical mistake of diplomacy, and then you put your guard right there. If I was Black, I'm going to pause this right here because this is just like, I think, a critical mistake that you make this game right here. And I think it's important to hammer this point home to the audience, and because I've made this mistake before, like myself. Even if you just have a small army attacking another player where they're unnecessarily losing troops for themselves, even if they would have probably lost less troops by you attacking than by them attacking, by you making the first point of aggression, they are considering that an overall conflict against you. The Black player is at 4 cards right now, and are most likely they're going to be getting a set. They can easily put it all into their 3 and then be attacking you really, really hard right now. I think the best thing that you can be doing right here, because again, like you have so many troops guarding right here, but look, red's not attacking you. They're in an alliance with you. You have these troops right here, but again, red's in an alliance with you. They just want to defend their continent. They don't want to be going into a war and attacking other people. If you had just left like a 2 on this border, like instead, and like just gave red notifications saying, hey, I want to be your friend, I won't attack you, because again, you both have strong continents. Why would red want to get into a conflict with a strong continent player? You fortified all your troops to either the Western United States or the Eastern United States and just leave this as a 1. Maybe the Black player would decide to attack you and break you within this region. But if they do break you, then you would be getting a set most likely on your next turn, because you would be at 4 cards. You would trade in all on the Western or Eastern United States, and then you would be able to hit the Black player very, very hard on the next turn, and you would be justified to do so in terms of a retaliation because they broke your continent. Holding a 2-point guard even, where you have like 2 equally sized armies here and here, can work, because if you get your borders broken where you just have like a 1 or a 2 guarding them, instead of having equally strong defended borders like you have right here, can be very good, as this allows you more flexibility when attacking and minimizes your losses when somebody tries to attack you and kind of break the diplomacy and relations with you. But now that we see that you kind of attack the black player, they got a set right here. They didn't want an alliance with you. Let's see what they decide to do. Yep, so they just put a lot of troops right here, and they clearly are going to be breaking you. From their perspective, as like a newer player, I think they were very justified in doing so. You attacked them first. You don't want to be attacking another player like you did right there. Now, the orange player has no set on 4, but thankfully the black player is defending them right here. Sorry, the blue player is defending them right there. Again, no idea what the blue player was doing, just an overall very weak turn. And you're asking them to attack black, but purple doesn't have to do anything. They just need to be defending their bonus and protecting themselves. They are one of the strongest players on the board. As we get to your turn here, the best thing you could be doing, again, is like trading in. I would have probably waited a little bit because if I just scroll back very slightly right here, you see that you had a +2 on Greenland. I probably would have used it for Greenland rather than Quebec, because that way you can then fortify your troops afterwards. Always pay attention to your cards and the bonuses that you receive, because sometimes the Risk app doesn't pick the best one that's strategically important for you. You can see that Greenland's left over right here. So you go for an attack right here. I think that's fine. It was high likelihood of success. And you successfully hit and broke the black player. And then you fortify your troops over from here. Red saying if you want to attack them down in Asia, you can do that. Because again, Red wants an alliance with you. They want to work with you. You don't need these troops here. You don't need these troops here. Yeah, and you can see black is so weak. They're like, I must get a card every single turn. So they attack the purple player. Just an awful, awful strategic decision like on their end. They're now down to 7 cards. And whenever a player gets below 10 troops and 3 cards, it's generally a good decision to eliminate them, as the value of each card is worth about 2 troops for themselves right here. The orange player also trades in, and now they are successfully taking and holding the Australia continent, and blue can't do anything about it because they wasted their set haphazardly attacking. And purple, who was attacked, and like one of the strongest players on the board, justifiably eliminates the black player from the game. And look right here, we're now in a very classic situation right here, because again, the blue player should be getting eliminated very shortly at this time, because they're only at you're going to be at 15 troops and 3 cards. The red player or someone else should be eliminating them. Now you give a thumbs down because the purple player left a lot of troops guarding their border, because they don't know how that you would react. And again, you don't need to be heavily like fortifying like your borders as much. Like against black, it was justified, but I think if you just move your troops out of the way and just leave like a 2 or a 3 there, the purple player will realize they don't need to be having a conflict with you here in this region, and they can move more of their troops where they should be. Because now the red player is making a very good move right here, removing the blue player from the board easily and safely. 100, almost 100% like effectiveness. They get another set trade in. They are very, very strong right here. They got 10 troops. One thing they could have done right here, and I think this was a kind of critical mistake, if they placed everything on the 11 right here and made that a 21, they would have 21 troops to Orange's 19. It's a 21v16 is very close to 100% roll. They would probably have like an 85% chance, I would say, of just eliminating the orange player from the game immediately and bringing it directly into the 3-player endgame scenario. And as they are the strongest player on the board, they could feel justified losing maybe like 5-10 troops because they wouldn't be breaking the balance of the game. They would be advancing it. When you're the strongest player, you should be making moves of advancement in some ways. And when you see a lot of your games ending up in stalemates, this is probably because the strongest player on your board is like a newer or weaker player that doesn't understand that they are the ones responsible for advancing the game. So we can see right here that because the red player did not press their advantage to take out like the orange player, this game has entered a very classic and dangerous situation for the Australia player. This situation right here is where one player, it's a 4-player situation, one holds North America, one player holds Africa and South America, and another player holds Europe. Everyone is getting around 8 troops a turn. The Australia player is getting 5 troops per turn. This is like a 4-player version of the Australia trap strategy, where there's nothing that the Australia player can do, like unless they like attack someone. Like they made I'm gonna pause right here again because this is another critical moment of this game right here where a mistake was made. Orange was so lucky having a set on 3, but you see how they just took a card and passed right here? What did they think was going to be happening this game? They were going to hope that you guys were going to be attacking each other, breaking the balance, and then they would just swoop in at the very end and win. Like, this is every new player and Australian player's dream, is they believe a one-border continent is always the best, strongest continent they should be going for. But that's not the case. If all of you are in a strong alliance, and the Europe player leaves all of their troops on Ukraine, the South American Africa player leaves all of their troops on the Middle East, the North America player leaves all their troops on Kamchatka. Now the Australian player is trapped, and there's nothing that they can do except wait for all the other players to put troops into them and taking them out of the game. What you're kind of doing here is you're putting unnecessary tension between yourself and the other players. Move your troops to Kamchatka right here, and that's going to be the best spot for yourself. The orange player did not break your bonus like they really should have, because again, they're just going to be trapped and die at this time, and you're the weakest player out of between red and purple, and there's nothing you really do to retaliate. Like look, you're defending your border right here. It's only going to get harder and harder for the orange player to break this. And if they were to have parked everything immediately into the Alaska region and just went and stood there, and now look, you have 11 troops. The orange player is just going to be setting themselves up to die a slow and painful death. What happens a lot at this point is just that for now, the next 15 to 20 minutes, there's no attacks between the players. There is one last thing that is very important that comes up. So this is a turn right here I wanted to highlight for everyone here. You make a critical mistake right here that a lot of new players make. You attack this territory right here and fortify your main stack back to Kamchatka. In general, you always want to leave your armies available to be attacking around the map, because if another player were to make an attack somewhere, you want to be immediately available to attack right away, to pounce on the opportunity for yourself to potentially take the game right then and there. If instead another player were to attack and leave your main army trapped, they could potentially be getting a lot of troops the following turn, and with this main stack on army being trapped, there wouldn't be anything that you can do about it. What should be happening is the red player, who's the strongest player in this game, should be eliminating the orange player, the weakest player in this game. They could have done this a long time ago, but by just prolonging the game like this, they just make it harder and more painful to eventually eliminate a player for their cards. But they can do so because if anyone else were to eliminate the red player, the other players will then sweep in and take the game for themselves, assuming they have their stacks and armies available to attack. That's the benefit of the 3-player situation and not breaking the balance of the game. Let's scroll ahead and see what actually happens. So here we can see, as we move farther ahead right here, that the red player is incredibly strong at this time. 147 troops. You caught up in troops are at 150. Like, open up, but like, look. Now the red player is attacking purple, and he's probably just doing this out of boredom because he's like, this game is stupid. Like, why am I even playing this right now? And this just shows like the importance of keeping your stack available. Like, if you had taken out your 116 and like you never attacked Mongolia right here, you would immediately be able to go in, because you're at 150 troops. You can immediately eliminate the orange player right away from the game and then take the game right then and there. But look what happened. Like, you should be taking this game because like it's very close to breaking in your favor at this time, because I would be thinking that the red player and purple players would just be attacking them. If the orange player was really, really smart, they'd be taking this 98 and throwing it into your 60, trying to get like the best attacker's advantage possible for themselves and hoping the other players work with you. The most important thing, again, you're leaving half your army stuck right here. Like, look at the overall troop size right now. When the troop sizes get very, very large, like, let's say someone broke your North America, who cares? You gain the benefit in North America for like 20 minutes of gameplay. It gave you an overall huge advantage in troops because the red player decided to attack the purple player. Like, if someone else broke your North America, you could just eliminate them. That's what happens when you have the most troops on the board. Like, look how many you have. Purple is very, very pissed at red, and they're breaking all of red's bonuses. Red will probably be attacking purple more. If all these troops were all available right here in Central America, you could immediately be going in, attacking everyone around the board and probably eliminating them. Look, you're going almost at 170 troops, and look, orange is at 110, purple at 45, red at 30. Like, you almost have more troops than all other players combined at this time. And with red putting all of their troops into the purple player too on their turn, you'll win. But you leaving your army kind of stuck right there just kind of hurts things like a little bit. And yeah, purple attacked you, which kind of sucks. At the end of the day, you'll be taking this game, but the reason why you're taking it is by the mistakes made of your opponent, especially red, not eliminating orange early, going to the 3-player scenario, then just attacking another player out of boredom. So as we speed ahead to your turn right here, because again, the red is just going to be attacking purple a lot, and you're just going in and attacking. What really kind of separates a top player from someone's more like intermediate to expert is the ability to like take advantage of their own game and really pushing where the game needs to go and how they need to be attacking for themselves. Intermediate and expert players tend to be a little more passive and let the game kind of flow naturally, and they know the importance of balance and not attacking other people, but don't really know how to really advance the game. And I think we're seeing that right here in this game because you're acting more like an intermediate like player. You're holding like your bonuses, protecting them, but you're not really doing anything for advancement. You're just hoping somebody else makes an attack and then you'll end up being okay. What I'd be doing right here is just putting all my troops into orange immediately, hoping to get the attacker's advantage and putting the rest in. This is like the final little mistake that you made. Even though the troop count is very, very in your favor, you're going to get another set. If the orange player were to attack your 90 and get like a plus 20 roll on it, which as troop sizes get bigger, it's more likely going to be a more favorable roll for you at this time. What's going to end up happening is you're just going to be in a really negative, dangerous spot, but your orange player doesn't hit you. They don't really understand the attacker's advantage in making an attack. Again, so many mistakes by a lot of players like this game. But what's great about these mistakes is they provide great teaching moments for everyone that's watching the game right here. So you're not making the same mistakes like in your games. You're able to learn from them instead. So instead, you get the attacker's advantage right here. This should be close to 100% roll. And look at that. You get a beautiful plus 24 roll. And you're going to be able to wrap up and take the game. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video right here. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing. I have new video like this coming out every single Tuesday. This is OliveXC signing out.